With Worlds Part 2 update being introduced into No Man's Sky, they also added in the Nutrient Ingester. But is it worth using? I'm Controlled Chaos. We're going to go over that. Just want to let you know that this video is sponsored by Brainwave Computers. More about that later. Let's get to the topic of the video. So to get the Nutrient Ingester, you need to be on the anomaly. You want to go all the way back to the exosuit researcher. You gotta interact with him. And then right here is the Nutrient Ingester. You're going to need 30 condensed copper, 1 lubricant, and 2 microprocessors. Now, the microprocessors can be bought or crafted, and you have to craft the lubricant. In order to get either of those recipes, you can get them right here at the synthetic laboratory, which is good. But let's look into the Nutrient Ingester. So a few things I want to bring up right off the bat. We have things like these baked eggs. We have baked eggs and they give you nothing. And that's really interesting because if we go to the Nutrient Ingester, find our baked eggs right here, put it in, you're all of a sudden getting plus 42% to your life support tank, which means you're not needing to fill up on oxygen as much, which allows you to run around a lot more without filling them up, which is really nice. So there's the plus there. Then if we do cool things like, let's take a look at the effects of what, let's say we do the bone cream right here. The bone cream will give us 20% life support power, which is decent. It's nice, but it does something different when you put it in the Nutrient Ingester. If I go here, let me find my bone cream here. Wherever I put it, not it. Where's my bone cream? Looking for my bone cream. Okay, so we have bone bar, which is pretty much the same thing. Nope, bone cream right next to it. I'm just not seeing it. But you put it in there. Look at that. You get 30% shield strength. So if you're doing combat, you want to put something like bone cream in. It will increase the strength of your shields, which is really amazing. And the great thing is you can begin the process and you can end the process by begin ingestion right here by either clicking on this button or holding down the E if you were on the computer. So with that being said, let's take a look at the difference some of this stuff makes. But right now, let's talk about Brainwave Computers. Brainwave Computers is a mom and pop store that actually ships things out, computers and parts, nationwide in the United States. But they do more than that. They also repair circuit boards. They can repair motherboards and do soldering work and stuff like that. So if you have a fried out circuit in there, they might be able to fix that for you. They have the skills and capabilities to do that. They also build custom computers to the specs of what you're needing it for. When they ship it, they insure it. So if something goes wrong, it's covered. And I know that for a fact because it happened with my brother's computer when I sent it to him. So if you're interested in looking into getting a new computer, look at going to Brainwave Computers, link down in the description for their website. Let's get back to the video. So as I was saying, with it adding in buffs, let's bring up the Nutrient Ingester again. I'm going to pull out the bone cream and I'm going to put in, let's say we'll do this, which is going to give us 30% breathing efficiency. So I'm not going to use that right away. I'm going to show a test of going underwater and we're just going to swim around and let our breath go down. It's going to take some time to do this. Okay, there we go. So now it's actually coming down. And as you can see, it's going a pretty good distance and going down. And if I Try boost. As you see, it drops fairly quickly. It's dropping at a nice rate. Let's swim up to the top again. Catch our breath. Now fill up. Go to the Nutrient Ingester. Put in these. Okay, 35%. That's even better. Click begin. And begin the process. Let's see how long this takes. You got the time below and the timestamps to see the difference. Or, just the time area below. See how well this works. You notice it's going slower. That's a nice little boost. That's a really good boost. So if you're wanting to swim around underwater and having issues with, staying underwater for a long period of time, especially with those deep oceans on those ocean planets, this would be very, very important to have. And I think that's a great thing. But the other great thing is you can switch it out to different cool things. There's one in here where if I go here, click on here, I'm going to yank this out, put this in here. I'm going to go here, looking for one specific thing. Here. That's one thing I wish they would change is we gotta wait for this to end. And I like the fact that it gives the duration. So it's gonna last for the time that it gives here and gives a countdown, which is nice. So I'll be back once this countdown is done, and I want to show you something really cool that will help out when you're mining or other things like that. With looking at more effects of what this could do, there is the custard dough here, which sells for a good amount. A lot of people just make it for the money. It doesn't give you much of a buff, but when you put it into the Nutrient Ingester, it gives you plus 29 to your mining speed, which means you'll be mining faster, which is amazingly great, because if you're wanting to mine some stuff and get that out of the way, you just put some of this in, get it to begin, and it goes. And it actually tells you how long it lasts, which is interesting. Question is, it said 20 minutes there. So if I go here, back out, go into here, and I take this and go ahead and I split it into two separate ones. Is it giving me that time based off of the amount, or is it based off of one? Let's find out. It is based off of one. So when you put a stack in, it's telling you how long that effect will last when you start the ingestion process, which is really cool. There are some other ones in here that gave really cool buffs for a long period of time. You got things like sprint distance for 16%. You had other ones in here that I saw that were really cool. Let me see if I can find it here. Here we go. Here's a good one. So we did the breathing one, and it was a 25%. This one here, which is the seafood stew that you can make, gives 58% to breathing efficiency for 8 minutes, and that's just one of them. So if you put two of those in, it's 16 minutes. A 56 or 58% increase is a great amount to do with that. But they have so much more, such as what I showed with that. So what it says on it when you use it without the nutrient ingester can be different than what it says. But you're showing here that we have carbon nanites. You can't ingest carbon nanites, but if we put it in there, let's see what happens. We get 8% hazard protection. It's decent, but there are better ones in there. Also, creature pellets. You can't eat creature pellets, but when you put it in there, you get +1 to life support tanks. Very, very minor buff, but considering the fact that you can't ingest it naturally, just like the nanotubes, it really adds to the effect. And so you gotta just play around with what the different things do and how they apply things. We got things like words, +2 to word translation. That's really good if you're hunting down the words and trying to complete that type of thing and get that all done. Really adds to it. And that's nice. But you'll see other things in here like cactus flesh. Cactus flesh does nothing, but it's not using it up right away because you have to begin the whole entire process, which is very nice. Same thing with the yeast. You really can't do anything with the yeast, but you put it in there, it gives +1 to word translation. So if you got a bunch of wild yeast, there you go. You can do that. I recommend going with the cooked foods because the cooked foods give you the higher amounts, which is really nice. But if you don't have any cooked foods, then you can go with other things. But like for instance, we have the processed meats, which is just that raw steak processed, 20% to health or hazard protection battery. This increased the battery life of your hazard protection. So if you're wanting to explore a radiated plant or whatever, this will increase the length of your hazard protection if you don't have any modules on for that specific hazard, or even goes beyond that to serve so you don't have to rush as fast to refill and recharge those hazard protection modules. I think this is a great boost and can be used in so many different ways. Whether you're doing combat, whether you're exploring, whether you're harvesting, and just different stuff like that. It has so many ways to play off of it. I think this is well worth using for so much stuff in the game. Comment down below. Let me know what you guys think, if it's worth it. And would you like to see some recipes that I come up with or that I find that would be really good for the Nutrient Ingester? Let me know and I will work on doing videos on recipes for the Nutrient Ingester. Thank you for watching and have a great day.